Hi everyone, we are back for newbie bite number 4. We're still talking about the print function. Last time we started with basic printing. So we used the print function, we inserted a string, and we just printed that string to the screen. Today we're going to talk about how you can use objects instead of strings by themselves. So let's head over to our editor and let's take a look at what this looks like. I use NeoVim, by the way. Here's what we had last time, and I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that code that you saw from the other screen. So here we have an object called name that has Russell Helmstedter stored as the value, and we have an object called age that has my age 35 stored as a value. So if I save this, I should see three things printed out when I run this with Python. I do in fact have the three things printed out. This can be really useful if you have some part of your code where maybe it's going to store this information in an object for you, so you're not going to know what it is ahead of time. Another thing that we can do here is what's called string concatenation. That is a fancy term for saying that you can put strings together and then print them all out at the same time. Let's head back to the editor, and I'm going to copy and paste that example that we saw right there. I'm going to save my code, and I'm going to run it one more time using Python. You can see that we have the same output. My name is Russell Helmstedter, and my age is 35, but the way that we got there was slightly different. The way that we got there was a little bit different. We now stored the information that we wanted to print inside objects. We used the string concatenation to print it out to the screen. You do have to be careful with this, though. If you start mixing your data types, for example, my name is a string, my age is an integer. If I save this and now I try to run the code one more time, I'm going to get an error. This error occurs because Python doesn't know how to handle the difference between the string and the integer. One way to get around it is to change the type of the age here inside the concatenation of the string. So now it's going to read the age as a string, and it'll work just like it did before. There is a much easier way, and in my opinion, a better way to do this, and that is with the F string. F string stands for formatted string, and the way that you create an F string is by placing a lowercase f in front of the opening quotation mark, and then anywhere that you want to have an object included in your string, you use the curly braces. Let's go ahead and convert this to an F string. Now that we've converted this to an F string, we have our curly braces around our objects, and we have a lowercase f here in the front. I can save, I can run it with Python, and I can see that even though my age is stored as an integer, my name is stored as a string, I can print them out all in the same formatted string. That is your goal for today on the Byte. Go ahead and print out your very first F string.